Kanpai!
Yum.
Intro music? Background music?
You don't get background music.
Oh, man. Okay, fine.
You don't deserve background music. Okay.
You have to remember to add it in then. Fine.
Yeah. No, it's there.
Cool.
Alrighty, everybody. With that out of the way, welcome one and all to the episode 36 of Kanpai Cast, the spring 2022 3-episode review. So, just going to do a little housekeeping today. So, to remind everybody, we do have timestamps, if I get to them. They are arranged in chapters to allow people to jump to each episode, each subject we talk about, and any spoilers will be tagged. So we shouldn't get to any today, but they should be.
I might have a couple. We'll see.
To the show you're interested in watching. So next note: whoever it is out there that's put a curse on Loz to prevent him from being in a recording session for like ever. Okay, please stop. It's not funny anymore. The poor guy. I'll still be here filling in for Loz for whenever he needs me to be here. But you know, we miss him. We really do. Aww. And as a final note, this is our first week with the new recording setup. So please let us know how you like it. I will still be coming across on the standard Discord audio because I'm still technically only the guest host. And Nasuth and Xeno will be both recording from their own setups to give us that extra punch when it gets to you guys. So let us know in the comments below if you like it.
Yeah, it's been a crazy amount of effort getting this set up and running. We spent hours last night just testing the whole thing, tweaking it to make sure the fucking thing worked, shouting at Nasuth for forgetting to turn off
this afternoon when we're recording as well.
Yes, but we do at least understand some of the jank now, so we can avoid it in the future.
We know what we did wrong, therefore we can hopefully avoid doing worse in the future. So, with that, just on to the news with Nasuth.
Right, well, we've only got a couple of bits of news this week. We almost didn't even have that much, but so quickly, while most of the region has reopened to tourism, Japan continues to struggle under COVID restrictions, which is from Al Jazeera. Basically, their lockdown started just before the was it the Winter Olympics? It was the 2020 Olympics, whichever one that was. And that was supposed to be their big tourist boom, and it kind of had problems with it because of that. And they've recently reopened to students and business people, but they haven't really reopened to tourists at all. So it's rough over. Anyone that owns a business doing tourism is really struggling over there. Wish them all the best.
Not just that, but they've now been introduced to the new XE variant of COVID.
Yep.
All because of a filthy American businessman.
Probably, yeah.
Nasuth!
Yep. Look, I gotta get my dragon hearts from somewhere, and I'm just gonna tell you, Japan has the best. That's...
Okay. That was a thing. Next thing.
Netflix to introduce ad-supported tier, as well as slashing the budgets for their shows across the board. This is in response to them losing like a huge number of subscribers recently. Because they plan to do like a price hike, and everyone was like, nope, no, not doing that.
So they were losing subscribers. From what I understood of this, they were losing subscribers because people are migrating over from Netflix to Disney Plus, because Disney basically took all of their content back from Netflix.
All those Marvel shows and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, well, not even just even the Disney cartoons and things like this.
Franchises I don't think they own. Things like, there's a very silly one like Miraculous Ladybug, and that's gone back to Disney Plus, I believe. You can only watch the end of the last season there.
Any Miyazaki stuff, if they had it, would have to go back there,
Yeah, so like they Disney have basically just hoiked back so much of their content and things. Hilariously, Disney are still shilling Moon Knight to the nth degree, and I hear nothing but bad things about Moon Knight.
Well, one of my shows today is on Disney Plus, I think, and I actually really enjoy it. So we'll see.
Yeah, Nasuth is a time traveler. That's how he is able to review that show,
yeah,
and for no other reason. Nothing. He doesn't know how to sail or anything. So, anyway.
I watched it while I was in Japan getting my Dragon Hearts.
God damn it! And anyway, but yeah. So and the thing is that they have slashed loads of budgets for animation-based projects.
Yeah.
And
this animation costs so much compared to like some other traditional forms of media.
Well, I think a large part of the problem is the fact that so many people will not watch something like, oh, it's a cartoon.
Yeah,
it's only
that's
for
also
kids.
true. Yeah,
which is the dumbest fucking mentality.
I mean, that stigma has lessened to some degree in like the last decade or so, but there's still a lot of people out there who are like, no,
still nowhere near enough.
Yeah,
but what's it called? Yeah, so it's absolutely, and plus the fact that Disney Plus has had the plethora. I don't even plethora is the right word. It's too small a word of content. I don't even. Sure, there we go. I've learned a new word now today, everyone. Cornucopia. And basically, they've got so much in terms of like Fox stuff as well.
Do they? Oh yes, because they own Fox. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So things like Simpsons, Family Guy, Predator, Aliens.
Anything that's on FX.
Yeah, it's all on there, and it's just crazy, but
yeah,
is what it is, right? But you know, I mean, to be honest, I'm actually inclined to cancel my Netflix subscription only because there's nothing on there.
Yeah,
there's nothing I'm watching, and well, I mean, like I actually watched the second season of Ultraman, which is actually not in this. I'll put that in the 6-month review. But the 6 episode review.
Yeah.
Sorry. So I watched the second season of Ultraman. I really liked the first season, but the second season was just so heavily rushed. And
it does kind of feel like it a little bit, yeah.
It's a clear cut. This is a whole season.
Yeah.
And like, some
I did enjoy it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as the first season. That's for sure.
Yeah, because it was just too rushed. Anyway, but I think it's all spanning like one day as well, which is crazy. Anyway, right?
Is it? Oh my god, I didn't even notice that.
Well, if you think about it, there's no day breaks or anything.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway. Cool. Should we get on with the topic?
Sure, let's head right into it. We got, what is it?
So our topic is the 3-episode rule, where each of us have taken upon ourselves to watch the spring season of anime up to the 3rd episode for whatever interested us at the time. There were some overlaps because, of course, we are all interested.
I watched everything, that's why.
Yes, and it's very difficult not to overlap with Nasuth, who had 15 or so.
Oh my gosh.
To watch.
So we have 19 shows total, and I watched, like 15 of them or something, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we've divided them up based on a little bit of who had the most unique ones, and the rest was, I think, Xeno did an RNG, which...
Yeah, so sorry, I just realized I haven't actually got I didn't update the deck board, so I can't actually set this thing to do all of the hopefully it will kick in. I mean, unless you want to quickly go to summer 20. Oh no, I got it. Right. So it's just
he's a genius.
No, I just normally I get this thing to run before we start, but I forgot to hit spring. All right, there we go. This should now just show. There we go.
The
spring
from this season.
Do you know what I didn't do?
Oh shit! I've just realized the problem. Nasuth, you're gonna have to control it because.
Oh no!
It's on Dropbox. I didn't think of this. We found a flaw in the system.
Oh no! What is it? 2022 spring?
Yeah, just hit all. Just hit all.
Yeah.
Right. So these are just the shows from spring 2022. What are you doing?
I was gonna try and drag it up to the top, but that's actually a lot harder than it seems. So I will have to leave that alone.
You will.
New system.
So who wants to lead us off on this particular?
Oh well, it's gonna be me. I'm gonna be starting and ending. So
yeah.
Because I have the most shows.
Yeah.
So,
Look at you.
are you able to do the actual individual
Nope,
shows?
I can't do that either.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay, so we're gonna start with AMAIM, a warrior at the borderline, otherwise known as Kyokai Senki. So I can't technically give this a rating because it's only shown 2 episodes. The next one is literally tomorrow.
Okay.
Wow.
But that said, I'll still.
Tentatively, what would you?
Yeah. So I think I would give it. So last season for me it was a must-watch. But this season I honestly think I would give it an acquired taste. It's not. I mean, if you build on last half of the season, this is technically part 2, season 1, part 2. If you build on the last half of the season, it's all right. But so as like a continuation to the series, it felt a little bad. Like there's so when last we left everyone, right? They just defeated. Should I put spoilers on? Because this is pretty heavy spoilers for the first half.
Well, you might want to start the tire as well.
That's a good point.
Oh yeah.
So many things to keep track of. Goodness me.
Might as well throw
I think I
spoilers
will.
on.
I think I will put spoilers on. So if you have not seen the first half of the season, go watch it, or not, depending on what you feel about it.
If you're not going to watch the second half, then
if you're not going to watch the second half, don't watch the first half. So when last we'd left everyone, they just defeated Ghost, which was the rogue AI powered AMAIM, and Amo had like disappeared in the water. We don't know where he was, and the Americans had, those pesky non-Americans had retrieved the AI from Ghost. So 8 months later, as expected, the Not USA have taken over, or won the war on autonomous AI, or the race to get autonomous AI, and they've expanded their territory in Japan. Shion and Gashin are still fighting with the resistance. The people of Japan are suffering even more because, of course, they are. The resistance is running low on supplies, having lost contact with their corporate sponsor from the first half. And they're also being forced to take on more refugees, so their supplies are getting really, really thin. This is a really good setup, right? This seems like a really good continuation of season 2. Especially when the non-Americans, like, attack them. And they're like, oh my god, how are they going to get out of this? Well, I mean, you kind of know Amo is going to come in, right? You just, from the opening credits, we know he's not dead.
Which one's this kid?
Amo, he's the one that pilots the main robot, Kenbu.
Right, the first one.
Yes, yeah. So
Yellow shirt guy.
Yes, only this season he's black shirt guy, black and red shirt guy.
Oh my god, he's wearing the same colors as the second guy.
No, second guy's like black and gray.
Whatever.
Something.
Fine.
No. I'm calling him Amo this season. Amo.
Okay.
So they try to get some safe passage for the refugees because apparently the Americans have a rule that they're not supposed to attack civilians, which I don't buy for a second, especially with the commander that they've got here, who is very, very clearly greedy and war hungry, to the point that he even hires one of the refugees to be a mole and shoot at the American AMAIMs so that they have a justification for starting the battle. But then, of course, the black AMAIM shows up. Oh, could it be Ghost? No, of course, it's Amo. In a newly rebuilt Kenbu, the fire burns the black paint off, and we get to see that amazing reveal. And that's the first episode. The next episode kind of jumps back and forth between a couple of places. A lot of it's not really important. Like, the Americans are getting funding for their AI project so they can continue trying to crack open the secrets of Ghost. But so one of the characters from the first season, Mizuzu, who is their engineer, their chief engineer, turns out she's actually in charge of the company that made Ghost. Surprise! And she
the head of the company is an engineer.
Yeah, well, it's an engineering company, but yes, but she is also an engineer.
Wait. So that's the bit that Aharen has done, not the giant robots and all the other stuff. No, you have an engineer being in charge of the company.
Yeah, well, I mean, Sorry, no, it's not the engineer being in charge of the company. It's the engineer being in charge of the company and is also out in the field. Wait, does the company still exist?
Yes, the company still exists. So she's out in the field because she feels responsible for Ghost. And these other 3 AI that she created for our heroes are based on the exact same architecture as Ghost. So she wants to keep an eye on them and make sure nothing goes wrong, make sure they're all right, you know? Totally makes sense. It totally makes sense.
No, I mean, keeping an eye on it, like, I could get behind. But it's just like, you know, and happenstance.
Yeah, that's what gets
Zuckerberg's
me.
Here.
That's what gets me is the convenience of it, especially since she shows up just after, you know, they're in this dire straits situation. And she's like, oh, by the way, I brought a bunch of AMAIM parts to fix your mechs that have been, you know, breaking for months now. I brought a bunch of food and money and blah, blah, blah.
Because you're only on like the 2nd episode.
This is only the 2nd episode, but yeah.
Right. So let's take off the spoilers. I have questions.
Okay.
But I have one point that I think Mark Zuckerberg showing up would be fantastic because they shine a torch on him. They can use him as a flashbang.
Yeah.
Right. So one of the biggest problems I had with the first part of this season was the fact that the characters just felt so lifeless. There was no driving factor. There was no development in the characters. Any chance that's been resolved in the first 2 episodes of this part?
Did you watch all of the first half?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I got so bored.
So
I watched the majority of it. I think I missed like the last few episodes.
Maybe. I see. I felt like Gashin and Shion, the other boy and the girl. I feel that they did get some development in the first half. And it's carried over a bit into this. Like Gashin is trying to really live up to the what he thought Amo would have wanted in him, like take care of people, be good, all that stuff. But Amo feels like he's regressed because he's now all emo and he won't tell anyone why. He's like, no, what happened to you those last 8 months? I need to go fix my mech. I'll see you later. It's that sort of that sort of deal. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I guess we'll wait and see how.
Yeah, it's all right. It's just not as good as it was. I don't know. The convenience of releasing all that tension in the first 2 episodes really annoyed me. Just really annoyed me.
Right. Thaylien, your first pick.
Well, my first pick, I believe, was
Rising of the Shield Hero.
I think I went straight for Rising of the Shield Hero.
Oh, goodness.
I was trying to buy some time for Nasuth to click the button.
That one. Yes.
Yeah. You do remember, Nasuth, that there's but like the images. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. So, what would you give it, Thaylien?
Honestly, must watch.
As if there was any doubt.
Okay.
Really? Okay.
So, all right. So, I mean, as it's the 2nd season of Shield Hero, it's a fantastic start to the 2nd season. New characters, returning old characters, some characters that only introduced right at the end of last season. They're getting a lot of screen time, and it's switching up the progression of the show.
Timer.
Yes. Timer. So, I mean, in the first season, the basic premise was that the 4 heroes are summoned to the world to fight waves of invading enemies from another world. And each wave gets stronger and stronger until the final confrontation. We learned that those are more than they seem, and I'm not going to get into spoiler territory. There's something bigger at stake. However, of course, this season begins with the waves being actually put on hold. New monsters are invading, but not as part of the regular waves. And a giant spirit beast has arisen in a distant land, destroying an entire city, despite that city having, a full complement of knights and guards. The 4 heroes are called to combat the monster, but due to general butt-hattery of the other 3 heroes, it doesn't really go all that well. So dear Naofumi and his team of Raftalia, Philo, and this new girl, Risha, who is the bow hero abandoned for being useless, they set off to back up the armies that Melramark and their allies are sending against this new giant beast. But honestly, what more really needs to be said about Shield Hero? It is Shield Hero, and anyone who enjoyed the first season will like the 2nd season. There is a nice callback I found with Raftalia and her opinions on being Naofumi's slave. She actually influences Risha to take a slave mark for herself.
Which kind of annoyed me a little bit, but it's whatever.
A little bit. You get this thing of like it's a kind of a cliquish girls' club thing, but I like. I
want to be a literal slave just to get a little stronger.
But Risha is trying to use any method she can to become stronger. So she's even going to use Naofumi's power. And it's all driven by her desire to show the bow hero that she's not useless. Because we're fairly sure she's just got a basic crush on him. But the idea behind this new enemy literally pausing the wave at the expense of living souls, it's being some kind of stopgap to prevent the waves from coming, it makes for a great little mental conflict in this story. I mean, after the events at the end of the first season, we needed to delay, before things kicked off again, giving time for the heroes to level up and become more powerful enough to take on the next wave and the enemies they faced in the last wave. And this is it.
Yeah, I don't think that's where it's headed at all, but
it does come at the cost of lives, which means they have to do all they can do to stop it, which will bring back the waves faster. I do like that there is some good progression for the characters. Raftalia and Philo are being taught by one of the side characters to use special techniques. Risha is getting stronger, and even Naofumi is a little bit more refined with the way he uses his shield powers. He's able to use the hate reaction thing, basically aggro draw an entire army of monsters away from the armies of Melramark. So let them get into position, let them start doing their things. And everything that's going on is building up to something. Even, the success they've had so far in these first 3 episodes is not enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I called that from early on.
Oh yeah, you did call that from early on. But that's the thing, you've got this progression, you've got this building of something's going to be needed, something that's going to be pushing them. And we've just set us all up to actually get there.
Okay, so I really want to jump in. And in all honesty, I'm surprised you've given this a must-watch, right?
Oh.
So I felt that the first episode was really good at its pacing. It's really trying hard to keep everyone just get on with it, right? But the third episode of this season, I am bamboozled. I am what the fuck, because in the third episode, it feels like they're skipping plot elements in order to continue the plot along. To when did this happen? Wait a second, why are we not seeing any of this battle? Hold on, when did that happen? When did they get there?
I didn't feel that at all. I thought it felt brisk but not rushed. I never felt lost or anything.
It's because they planned it all out in the previous episode. I was expecting them to be, certain enemies in one place, certain allies in another,
but they spent a massive amount of 2 minutes in the second episode to actually plan stuff. It felt way too rushed for me, right?
I thought that was great avoiding of gazebos.
True that. I know Loz is of a similar opinion as me, because he voiced the same thoughts as me. The only hope I have is that when it comes to the later episodes, it's we wanted to spend more time on this.
Yeah, it really does depend on how much filler there is later.
Did you see the little hints that were there? There's all these people when they were talking around with the civilians that were saying things like the other 3 heroes have already been defeated and so on.
Yeah, it's just where's the what?
So I think that there is something they're building up to with the 4 heroes. Not to think, because of course Philo's queen is looking in and saying, being very emphatic that this is their chance to actually fulfill her requirements before she kills them all.
Yeah.
So with this, there's a thing that I think they're actually going to build up to more character interaction and dwelling on that.
Right.
This is just a catalyst for it.
Right. So, using my powers of the internet, I will now move us over to.
Oh my goodness.
Aharen-San is Indecipherable.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it actually worked. Look at my science.
Oh my
God. Okay, and instantly I'm going to give this a acquired taste. Right. So this is I'm not it's definitely a school life comedy, right? I'll definitely give you that. And the whole point of this is that Aharen, which is this little school student, she is, as the untranslated title, thanks Crunchyroll, she is indecipherable, right? No one can work out what it is that she's actually saying. Much like when I'm glaring at Nasuth to turn on the timer, and he already did that.
I almost
earlier,
did that. I almost did that, and then I forgot. I just plumb slipped my mind.
And but yeah, so the whole premise is that it really focuses on a very small cast of 2.5 characters, and mostly it's this guy trying to work out what it is Aharen-San is actually saying. And
it's kind of like Komi, where only Tadano can understand her.
Yeah, but with a character that talks.
Tadano.
Yeah, but the big thing about Aharen is that she is talking. It's just no one is actually hearing her, right? And in the first episode, the male protagonist, Blank Kun, sorry, unless the show is just absolute baller, I'm not going to remember the names, right? I generic Blank Kun. I love the fact that I got so many screenshots and it's only showing this one all the time. Anyway, so crap, what was I going with this? He goes to all this effort to try and understand what she's saying things. He learns how to lip read, he learns to so he just thinks that she hates him because she's not saying things. No, she's just so damn quiet, right? But you hit the nail on the head. This is kind of just another take on Komi. And I hate to say this, it's kind of inferior. If the show doesn't pick up, it's going to fall into nothing special.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it's because they've got Aharen is not star quality, as it were. Where's the drive for everyone else to figure out what she's saying?
Well, again, the cast is only like 2.5 people. This character turns up very infrequently, and it's just like, unless the cast expands out, 100% of the cast understands what Aharen-San what Aharen is saying, right? But it's like it's not saying a lot, right?
No,
okay.
So I mean, shows can work with just 2 characters, especially ones in school. Like, what was it? The one about that guy that keeps wasting time by making toys in class, doing games and things in the classroom. And the teacher never spots him, but his neighbour was always interested in what's going on, even despite herself. And
or that guy that makes dolls.
Kind of. No, they have smaller characters than that.
Yeah. I'm just teasing.
That one really works because there's a gimmick and it's just changed up every time. This one, I'm not sure how you change up the gimmick every episode.
Yeah. Right. Let's move on.
Yep.
Let's. Come on.
Ooh. Estab-Life.
It didn't. Come on. Oh, God, I'm trying to upload it, but.
Oh no.
Hold on. Add more files. Why?
Oh, Xeno. Oh,
it
Xeno.
It was fucking working. Fucking Dropbox. Why you do this to me?
It's alright, I got it.
No, why you gotta do this to me, bruh?
So, oh goodness. Why is that? Okay, there it goes. So this one gets a pass. Ooh.
Is it a hard pass?
It was almost nothing special. And if I'd stopped at episode 3, it would have been nearly an acquired taste. But unfortunately for them, there are 6 episodes currently, and so I got to watch episode 4, and I was like, nope, I'm done. So the general gimmick is that there are these clusters all over Japan, and each cluster is essentially like its own little country or community, but it's all a single ideal. So you've got like a communist cluster and a capitalist cluster and a fascist cluster and whatever. There's even a magical girl cluster. With literal magical girls. I'm not even kidding.
I know where I'd be.
Right. So but you're not allowed to move between clusters, right? When you're and it's all ruled over by AI and robots. So you have these people called has my cat? No, he has not unplugged my microphone. You have these people called extractors that are that whenever somebody wants to move between clusters, they get a hold of the extractors and they help them get between places. And so we're following a team of extractors consisting of Equa, who is the one in pink on this particular screenshot, and her compatriots Felis and Martis. And Felis is a gun mage, which means she can use magic spells with her guns. And Martis is a slime girl. And then, of course, we've also got you can also see on the screen, we've got the dog person. So those are demi-humans. Demi-humans are like the slime girl and the dog person. But each escape they do is ridiculous. Like really ridiculous. So the first one is a school teacher that wants to stop teaching because the students don't listen to him. But he's in a fascist area where they won't let him retire or change jobs. And so he wants to go to another place. They literally, Equa literally climbs up a building using these suction cup hand things with him on her back because, quote unquote, this is safer. And she's this little girl just pulling herself up slowly, which is, I guess, your first hint that there's supposed to be something special about her.
I have several questions there.
Yeah.
Okay, so how is going up the side of a building safer than keeping what?
I don't know. Safer than going through the building, I guess, because there are robots and stuff inside the building. Also,
do they understand the double entendre for Go Commando?
Yes, I don't know. I think so. Actually. Because that comes up later in episode 3 or episode 4. But anyway, so once they get to the top of the building, they fire a zip line literal miles into the next cluster and send him down the zip line. So
dude, this just screams to me. You've seen the Man from U.N.C.L.E., the Guy Ritchie movie, right?
No, I actually haven't. No.
Oh, damn it. Well, basically, early on at the start of the movie, Henry Cavill's character is being chased by a Russian spy. He literally does this. He fires like a grappling hook across the no man's land in occupied Berlin, and it's just they zip across. But the problem then is that the Russian spy is chasing after them, so they just back up the truck to slacken the rope, and the Russian spy's stuck in no man's land. It's full of mines. He can't get out or anything.
Oh my god.
I was just thinking, just move the building back. Yeah.
So they essentially do the same one for the third episode, same escape. But the second episode, which is about a Yakuza leader who wants to become a magical girl, because that's the only true purity, whereas the Yakuza honor isn't true purity. And they fire him out of a literal cannon into the next cluster. Right. It's oh my god, it's so crazy. But I mean, that would be, it would have been okay because I like I like that kind of zaniness. Sometimes it can work, and it was kind of working for me in this. But then the fourth episode came along, and it was just all about how the slime girl is obsessed with Equa and how much she wants to be in love with her and hold her down and do dirty things. And I'm just like, no, I'm out. I can't. I like craziness. So yes, some things to note before I give my final thoughts. Animated by the same company that did Clone Wars, Ronia the Robber's Daughter, the TV series, the anime series, not the movie. Okay. Ajin and Pacific Rim: The Black. So the animation is actually really good in this, despite it being CGI. Opening changes every time to show the client for that episode, which is kind of cute. So final thoughts. Characters are just one-dimensional, so I can't really get into it, and the situations are so bizarre I don't know what to make of them. And
I think you've said enough with just pass.
Yeah, it feels like the weird guy, or the person that wants to tell you, oh, I'm so weird and unique, and then but they're just telling you that they're not actually weird and unique.
Right. Yeah. Thaylien, it's your time to shine.
It's my second pick. Now, if I believe that if Naz is going to redo that, and
it's not stopping for some reason, but that's fine.
RPG real estate.
RPG? I thought you were doing Spy Family.
Yeah.
No,
you've got Spy Family.
Spy Family second. Sorry, I do apologise.
That's right.
That's why I got it lined up. Right.
Excellent.
Okay.
So, this one, nobody will be surprised by this one. It's a must-watch.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So our setting is there are two countries in a Cold War, spies and assassins on both sides. We're introduced to the spy with the codename Twilight, a consummate professional who gave up his identity in order to become a true spy. We learn later that he did this to ensure that nobody would suffer the way he did in his childhood. He's now sent on a mission to acquire information from a specific target in their rival country. But this reclusive target doesn't have any appearances outside of his home, except one. He attends the school functions of his child at a prestigious school. But Twilight's job is to take on the identity of Lloyd Forger, a psychiatrist, create a fake family and have his new child attend the school so that he can go to these functions and obtain access to the target. Fate's a little strange though, as the child that Lloyd finds and adopts is a not really 6-year-old Anya, an escaped subject from a research project that gave people telepathic powers. She reads his mind at the orphanage and uses that knowledge to get, adopted by him. And Anya is absolutely adorable.
She likes peanuts, she doesn't like carrots.
While she is telepathic, she's also a child and written very, very well for a child. Okay, so when he says he wants to thinks that he should get to know her better, she starts explaining what she likes and doesn't like. Things like that. It's really well played for the childish mental work that goes in. But the world gets a little stranger as we're introduced to Yor Briar, an assassin with the codename of Thorn Princess. She's a bit socially inept because she's immersed herself into her underworld work as an assassin. But for her own reasons, she wants to not stand out, and the people at her job, the other girls at her day job, are the kind of just bitchy enough to yes, exactly, shrews, who will report an unmarried, unpartnered woman for being a spy in this Cold War.
Whether or not it's true.
No, whether or not it's true, exactly. So she needs to find a partner to not stand out and to go to, accompany her to social gatherings. But their paths cross when Lloyd is buying more clothes for Anya and Yor appears to get her nice dress repaired after an assassination. And with a little help from Anya reading their minds, Lloyd and Yor decide to possibly partner up, and events unfold that they kind of rush into a bit of a fake marriage. But the important thing is that both believe that the other is a normal person. So,
and only Anya knows the truth.
Yeah, so all three of them are hiding their identities from the others, although Anya knows about both due to mind control, mind reading. The setup between this is fantastic. All three of them reacting to each other, and Anya reacting to both because she knows what they're thinking. you know, Anya and Yor are both that level of socially inept that Lloyd has to cover for them. But they are just lovely people on the general. You know, you'll see little scenes with Yor holding Anya's hand, but then remembering that when her little brother was that small, she hugged him too hard and cracked his ribs, which Anya immediately goes, just absolute shock, lets go of her hand, and then runs off to hide behind a planter because she needs a moment to...
She is a kid. Yeah.
She's about 6 years old at most. And now that we're at episode 3, we've established that dynamic between them. And are building up to the actual caper, you know, whatever it is, getting Anya into the school, presenting themselves as a normal family, and beginning the proper spy shenanigans with Lloyd. But on the way here, there's been action, violence, surprising amounts of wholesomeness, and I just love them as characters. I want more of this, so it's definitely hitting my must-watch list.
You know how we've been saying that Skeleton Knight is Overlord but good? This is Kuroshi Ai but good. Love of Kill, but good.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
God,
Love of
really
Kill,
is.
but good as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely recommend that people watch this one.
Oh, that scene where she finds them. Oh, she's obsessed with like spy shows and stuff.
Yes,
so
she is.
this scene where she finds the spy equipment is just amazing.
Oh, and it's hilarious. I can't really spoil this, but she turns it on, and all heck breaks loose. It's fantastic.
Yep. So good.
Right.
So good.
Okay, moving on to Shikimori is not just a cutie.
Or is she?
No, she's not. Pass. Just fucking pass. Right? The art style's nice, right? The characters and the plot are non-existent. Right?
Big Garbaggio.
So we got the two main protagonists on screen right now. Shikimori is the girl. I can't remember what Blank's called. So we got another Blank-kun. And the whole premise of the entire show is that he is really unlucky, right? No. It's Final Destination with a kick-ass Komi, right? Huh. That is it. It sounds really cool, but it's just the problem is that's all it is, right? Guy is just super fucking unlucky and life is trying to kill him every step of the way, and Komi is just going out of her way to constantly save his life, right? I've watched 3 episodes of this. I am not watching any more of this, right? People have said that the manga's really good. It may be really good. It does not translate well to anime, or the manga might get really good later on, but I gave this 3 episodes. It's mind-numbing, right? Especially of how cringe they are. Like, it's just, you know, will they, won't they? Oh, but I want to be the good, supportive boyfriend character that, the Shikimori deserves. And yeah, I can't. I just fucking can't. I really fucking can't with this show.
It sounds top tier. I look forward to wow.
Yeah.
So nothing happens. Like just they get in these crazy they get in a situation and she just saves them and that's it. There's nothing deeper going on.
That's pretty much it in a nutshell. Right?
So
are the situations at least unique?
No, well, the situations are stupid. It's just like this is just, oh, we've gone 5 seconds without something trying to kill him. So, the boss in the house, but you know, it's like, you know, it is just like Cluedo, like trying to work out who the fuck.
Crikey.
That's a shame. That's a big shame.
I just fucking can't.
And when you say she's able to save him, is it just because she's like super athletic, or is there not something?
Yeah, no, she is super athletic. She's like, you know, oh god, how do I say this? She's the God, I'm trying to, my brain. Come on, brain. I believe in you.
Idol?
No, she goes by the namesake. You know, she is not just a cutie. She is the Komi, right? In this situation where she's super capable of topping everything, right? She's able to excel at whatever she's trying to do, but yeah, it's just don't
Okay.
don't watch it. I just can't. No.
Not sure there's much else you could say about that though. It just sounds like bland characters, repetitive situations, unlikely situations, and one gimmick played over and over and over again.
Yep. And I'm also secretly in the background trying to get I'm quitting heroing to work.
Is it the exclamation or the apostrophe? I better see apostrophe.
It is, and I don't know, I've just got it working.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so let's move on to I'm quitting heroing.
So I feel like I might get a little hate from Xeno for this, but I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it for most people an acquired taste. For me personally, I'm gonna go ahead and give it that rating. But for me personally, it's just a little bit lower. It's just a little bit on nothing special. I know. I'm still gonna watch it because it is still it's just on that borderline. I thought I was really gonna love it because of the twist of the hero working for the demons, and I do still like it, but like they're already starting to fall into the same old tropes you'd see just about anywhere. You've got the tsundere mage that I think he's secretly in love with, but he also wants to kind of keep at arm's length, so he pushes her buttons, knowing that it might do either one. It might make her fall in love with him, or it might keep her away. There's the little wolf or fox girl or whatever she is that's just so bouncy and cute and bubbly and wonderful,
but also really powerful. Don't forget.
Yeah. I mean, the first episode was great for the most part. The meeting went on a little long, but I mean, they have to get those characters introduced to you somehow. I thought the bit with the queen where he was introducing himself and she just kept burning all his charts and stuff, that was hilarious. Like, she couldn't hurt him.
Fireballs to the face.
Yeah, she couldn't hurt him, but she could burn all his charts, saying like why he should be hired.
And his cloak.
Yeah. Second episode was okay, but I felt like it dragged on a little long while they were waiting the 2 hours for his plan to go into action. But it was still clever. The fact that he attuned a stone to do this thing where the magic they have to fill the magic reactors, but they can only be filled by a certain a certain person's energy, like a wavelength for that person. And so he figured out a way to attune a stone so other people can push their mana magic into it.
I didn't think that was quite a clever one.
Yeah,
because she predicted that he would use part of his plan. Because he's a sorcerer like her, so he can harmonize to her frequency.
Yeah.
But he then came up with a further step that basically makes
it so anyone can do it. Yeah,
hours of workload from her.
Yeah.
From her daily life, which is quite clever.
But then he also went on to streamline the way her paperwork works, and he was like, oh, you can do this, and this, and this. And I'm a little worried, even after the third episode where his plan kind of backfired a little bit. I'm a little worried that he's going to be too much of a perfect know-it-all. I didn't start the timer. How long? Let's just say it's been 2.5 minutes. But then the third episode, I really didn't like that one that much. Like the fact that I'm all right with Fox Girl being able to break through all the barriers. But the bit at the end where she's like, oh, this guy said one random thing to me, and it made me think, oh, you know what? I should ask people for help. I refuse to believe that none of the other generals suggested to her, hey, why don't you ask other people for their advice and help? I refuse. I refuse to believe that.
Yeah, no, but you think about what she actually went through in that episode. Yeah, it was a lot of pig-headedness, but she probably had a lot of time to sit and wait after she got back. And I think they're pointing out that she's not stupid.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
She's naive and things, but she's not stupid.
But just this random guy out in the middle of nowhere who gives her some advice. That's what does it for her.
Well, again, I love that actually because it was I went and asked some people for advice, and they just said I could go down the cliff, swim the river, and come back up the other side again.
Yeah.
So I'll do that.
That's fine.
That is perfect for the situation. But you could. It was the way. You're right in a sense. I will say that it's the way she came up with the same ideas that our hero did. From that,
I also get the feeling that they're going to portray the demons as the good guys. They just want to make a living and live in harmony, like the dragon folk do. And it's the humans that are evil and nasty and bigoted and stuff. Ugh.
I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with that. Hopefully, the show will pick up and be better. I can totally get where you're coming from, but at least it's like resolving stuff within a single episode.
That's true.
But yeah. I get where you're coming from.
Oh, I do really like that it appears to be a fantasy, but if you look really closely at that first episode when he's leaving his initial area, it almost looks like Tokyo.
And
like a ruined Tokyo.
If you look at whenever it pans back to do the landscapes, that it looks like ruined cities.
Yeah. So this may actually not be another world. This may be Earth that the demons invaded.
Right.
Who knows?
Magic with them or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, I think it's time for Thaylien to enlighten me with what the fuck is up.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I looking at right now?
You are looking at a hard pass.
Fair. Okay. Right.
Okay. So, well, it's a pass. But for the matter of it being I like slice of life. I like fluff in my anime. I like cute people doing cute things. Mm-hmm. But I only like it when it has some actual development. This has all those things, but it doesn't have much else. So, the setting is very, very simple. The Demon Lord was defeated, and the world lives mostly in harmony. People just want to get on with their daily lives. The Rent Property Guide Real Estate Company is a company that matches up people with rental properties. And we see that in the first episode as a young witch comes to the city looking for a place to live, to rent. And she goes to this company to have them find her a nice rental property. And it's a good job she did it first, because otherwise it would have been a conflict of interest, because she's also the new employee of the RPG real estate company. Mm-hmm. And over the next couple of episodes, we're presented with characters or properties that have unique features. And each episode, they solve it by finding the right person or the right property for each puzzle.
Yeah.
And in between the actual work, there's plenty of just relaxing slice of life happenings between the main character and her co-workers. I mean, each of them are young, pretty, and kind of unique. The two main workers are a warrior and a priestess. And I admit, it's they are somewhat entertaining characters. I like them as basic characters they have. So the warrior girl is always interested in finding new weapons, and she's a little bit embarrassed because her warrior gear that she has to wear when she's not in uniform is a little skimpy and embarrassing. Whereas and she also likes baking because, of course, warriors and their food.
So they're like baking too, apparently.
Yeah. The priestess is fussy and wants to get promoted, and she, tries very hard at her job, and she fangirls over the powerful and rich as they come in. And they are definitely best friends forever, those two. Just pals living in the same place, who occasionally cuddle when one of them can't sleep. Yeah. Anyway, so there is an element of that there. And the final employee is a young half monster girl. She can understand both humans and monster people. She's naive, ditzy, childish bridge between the two cultures. And then, because of her, they're able to match up the more difficult properties with monster people who like them way more than regular people. But that's just it. There's hints of things happening in the future, things that there might be some plot. For example, there's hints that a dragon has returned, and that our half monster girl might actually be sleep transforming into the dragon to go out to the countryside and wander about. But again, the rest, it's not holding my attention because of the boring ordinariness of the rest of it. Miss Shachiku from the Monster Development Department showed a fantastic side of the dev worker's life. A great deal of fun at the employee's expense, showing how much work can really be work. But here, everything's just easy. Every property has a matching renter or renters. Everyone turns out happy. It's like doing a jigsaw puzzle that only has like 12 pieces. This
sounds so much like cheat life as a pharmacist in a fantasy world.
If a company could be a Mary Sue, I think that the RPG real estate. I think the company is one, and it's just not really any fun. I'm sorry, I'm dropping this show. It caught my eye at the start of the preview. It kind of showed some promise. I thought this would be similar to the other ones that show like Police in a Pod or Shachiku. Like it would actually poke some fun at the real estate market. But no, this is all fluff and fun times. There's no work going on here.
That sounds just awful.
No.
Right. Okay.
You better give this the right rating.
Nasuth, I just realized something horrible. You're going to need to give the timestamp for this. So you have to press the button. I need you to press the button because I've just realized none of the timestamps for the other shows have been going on.
Oh no!
Yeah, so I need
fine.
to fix
we'll
this,
see the changeover. I'll get that
sorted.
Yeah.
We'll fix it.
On the bottom right.
Yes,
right.
There he is. Yeah. Got him.
Cool. Right. So we have Skeleton Knight in another world, and I'm.
Oh, you better give it the right score. Ooh.
I think you're going to be disappointed.
Boy.
Okay. I have to give it an acquired taste.
All right.
I'll technically agree with this.
Disappointed.
Right? I have to give this an acquired taste because one, Nasuth hits the timer.
Yes.
And
that is a thing that happens in it.
First off, there was a lot of controversy behind the opening scene of this. There was so much, Twitter was frothing at the mouth. It really, really was. There is a lot of cute behind this. We've already made the joke that this is Overlord but good. It's a matter of taste and things. If you like Overlord, fine. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to like this. The main character is a Gary Stu, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. There's no denying that.
That can be quite a turn-off for a lot of people. Yeah? So,
but he is self-aware.
Yeah.
He is self-aware, which does help. He is exploring the world anew because he is just not accustomed to it. Effectively, this is your hardcore gamer that's been playing way too much World of Warcraft, who has actually experienced the joy of going out and touching grass.
I love the difference between his external persona and his internal persona. It's true. So good.
So just to briefly highlight, which is explained within the first couple of minutes of the show. First couple of minutes post the weird gratuitous scene at the beginning of the show. But basically, when this character was making his character, when the gamer was making the character for the MMO he was playing, he made him a skeleton, right? It was an avatar he could choose. But because of this world setting, because he's appeared in the world setting, as his skeleton persona, he can't just reveal that he is appearing as undead. He still needs to eat, he still needs to drink, he still needs to sleep. He doesn't have the qualities of an undead like Ainz Ul Ghul, but he has the outward appearance, and he doesn't want to scare anyone away, so he stays fully clad in his armor, and he will only eat and drink in seclusion, at least for the first 3 episodes. I do like this. The animation is good.
The opening's amazing.
Oh god, the opening.
For some people.
Can I point out the opening, right? You guys, did you watch One Piece up to the point of...
No, I never watched One Piece.
No,
up to the Water 7 arc, Xeno.
No.
You
How
watched,
many
like, 40
episodes is that?
Okay, never mind. Okay, there is a scene there. Usopp, he gets into a fight with Luffy and he abandons the group, but he can't stay away. Yeah. So he comes back with a mask on, pretending to be the Sniper King, Soga King. And he makes his return, and he's singing his own theme song. Right? Now, when he's singing his own theme song, there's no music. Okay, he's trying to get into the "I am Sniper King from Sniper Island," yada yada yada. Right?
Yeah.
This opening is that. It is this guy. It's everything that Usopp wanted the Soga King theme song to be.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. It is so.
Oh, it's got that good hard rock. I'm the hero. Yeah. Kind of thing going on, and it's so happy to be here. So I love it. He's like Superman, but a skeleton. And he just finds joy in everything.
Actually, he's He-Man, but he's a skeleton.
He-Man with a skeleton, anyway.
But regardless of that, I will say that they do seem to be exploring the world quite nicely, which is a nice amount of detail. The character... Though we haven't seen much in terms of character growth.
Character number 2?
No, we don't really know much about this guy.
True.
I am hoping to see that we will start to see growth in relationships and things between him and character number 2, which was only introduced in episode 3.
We haven't even seen character number 3 yet, although they're in the...
Is there a character number 3?
There is a character number 3.
In the credits, there is.
Unless you're thinking of another character number 3.
No, a small...
The elf girl.
Cat girl ninja type.
Oh god, no, there is. Yes, there is. What's it called? Now you say that, I remember that. But
in like the credits, like end note kind of thing.
Yeah,
where they
I must have missed that. I don't know.
Of them.
Yeah.
No,
she's in it so briefly. But anyway,
just vaguely. So we haven't even seen that character outside of the credits.
I am gonna keep up with this show. I really hope it does become a must-watch, but I hope you respect the fact that I've gone with a right.
You're dead to me. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I
can see you've made a good point. I can see how it would be acquired taste for other people. Yeah.
Right. Let us move on to... we can't communicate.
I should have already been scrolled down here. Oh my goodness.
Second row.
That one. That one.
Yeah.
That boy. That boy. I mean...
And the timer.
Yeah. No, I was gonna... Yeah. Yep. There we go, that. And I'm going to give this, I mean...
That didn't do anything. That didn't do anything
because I forgot to stop and reset the timer. Yeah. Yes. I am a smart person.
We need to simplify this.
Yes, we do.
Yep. Anyway, as if there was any doubt, this is a must-watch. I don't know how anyone could think otherwise. It continues the from season 1. I mean, all the, like, it even starts with them, like, writing down all the names that she made in season 1. But it also doesn't, it introduces... Is it just the one new character so far that they've introduced? I think so.
Yeah, just one.
But he is amazing. Oh no, we've got that one guy that sits near the window with the blue hair that you hate.
But he's only been in the outro.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
So...
But... The guy that they do introduce is amazing. He's like this nerdy little guy who got all buff during one of the summers, and
no, don't spoil it. Let them enjoy it.
Okay.
Let them experience the true passion.
It is that fantastic interplay of characters that are unable to communicate properly.
Yes. He's another one of those.
Yeah.
I think if I had any complaint about this, it would be that Stalker-chan isn't it just so much. Just so much, and I hate her so much. I don't understand why the other characters spend any time with her when she is so clearly going to kill someone. She should be in jail.
I feel like she's going from yandere to tsundere.
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, it was. The new opening's a bop. I love the new opening. The closing is beautiful. It's like they filmed real people and then rotoscoped the characters over them, and it is just. I think the picture, the first picture in here was from the ending, and it was. It's
like pixel art animation.
It's like rotoscope pixels. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about it. It's really good. The stories are. There's like 4 stories per episode. They don't really feel too short, I don't think. There's a little bit of some throwback to season 1 in the final one with Komi and Tadano.
There's also meta arcs as well, which again I quite like.
Yes.
I don't like it all being just like.
Yeah, they're not isolated stories. Yeah. Yep. That's it. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, goodness.
If you hear any noises, my neighbours are loud.
They're all good.
This is back to me. And
I have a question for you, right, for Thaylien. After he gives his rating. Right, so, give your rating.
Okay, so this is the Dawn of the Witch, and it's so close for me personally between an acquired taste and borderline of must watch. It's going to be acquired taste, but it's borderline must watch depending on how it goes for the later series.
Okay, so my question for you is, do you know that this is a sequel series?
No, I did not.
This is a sequel to the Grimoire of Zero.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I had no idea.
What is? Tell me later. Tell me what it is later.
So this is a pure fantasy world kind of series. You could be forgiven for thinking it's an isekai, because the protagonist first seen is him being brought to the place he is now by somebody with magic powers. But there's no real way to tell if it was actually a separate world or just a separate place. The key is our protagonist has no memories before that point, and we smash cut to 3 years later when our actual story begins here. The short history of the world is that this magic users, were hated and feared for hundreds of years, with the church trying to stamp them out. A decade ago, by the current time, an evil mage, who they call very evil, waged war by spreading magic throughout the land. And while he was defeated, he did prove something good, which is everyone with a bit of talent can use magic, and with teaching they can use it for good things too. So now, 10 years on from that war, magic is being incorporated into most of everyday life, and people are getting used to the idea of it. All there are, in a very on-the-nose observation, still prejudices and people ready to go on illegal witch hunts in the southern part of the kingdom. So, our dear protagonist, Sable, has been attending the mage school for years. It's 3 years now, and the school has only existed for 4 years. He's the worst student there. He can't control his magic, makes his spells completely unreliable and uncontrollable, and of course unreliable magic is the worst kind.
Would you say he's the worst witch?
Nah. Kind of. Because of this, the headmaster believes that he needs a different form of teaching and elects to send him on a field study with some other students and a supervisor. Ooh, cat. Yeah, so the field study is to spend 3 years in the southern part of the kingdom setting up a friendly place to live for magic users and regular people, a model village kind of thing. Show people magic's a good thing and hopefully get the witch hunts and prejudice to settle down. However, if at the end of 3 years he's judged unworthy of continuing to study magic, he will have to be expelled.
Ooh.
And his memories have to be wiped.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was going to say, yes. So don't panic. The field study is to be 3 years long. Panic though, because of course, when you're expelled from magic school, they magically remove your memories of magic school, which are the only memories he has.
You think there was a Netflix show called like The Order or something that had a similar premise?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So, me
here's
personally,
the thing about the show. Sorry. Okay. Here's the thing about the show. It focused on the characters in a way that really impressed me. Okay. Our protagonist, Sable, he is depressed and closed off in a way that is scarily accurate to the way a lot of people react to being alone, bullied, and failing. He's fatalistic, kind, and wants friends and relationships, but simply doesn't believe that anyone else would really want to be his friend or to stay around him. He doesn't believe he's worth that, and it comes through in a lot of the dialogue and his expressionless nature. The supporting cast is just as good. Their supervisor is the Witch of Dawn, Lou Christus. She's how should I put this? A legal lowly of 300 years old. She's a witch. She's a witch with no magic because she has formed a pact with the Witch Eater staff. This drains magic and life out of anyone that touches it except for her. And she uses that magic to protect herself and extend her life. But they also go a little bit into the problems with that too, reminding people that actual immortality can be something that will mess you up a bit. And his new friends are Holt, who is the Hermione of the school, definitely the fan service of the school as well, and Kudo, who is a lizard man, a beast fallen. And both of them have some seriously messed up history, and it really affects who they are going forward, but I can't spoil it. The show's winning points with me because it doesn't just say that having these friends will just fix any pain they all went through. The Witch of Dawn, she actually says that Sable's potential mind wipe might actually not be a punishment. Given the pain and suffering he could still go through in his studies of magic, having his memories wiped and starting fresh might actually be a blessing. This character, despite her apparent nature, is actually multi-layered and really acts like she's been alive for 300 years, instead of just being like the bratty character they usually put into that kind of role. And unlike more of the ridiculous shows, they don't even do the whole thing of this messed up guy is actually really strong by having him do something super powerful. They're in trouble, he's pushed, and our boy decides to sacrifice himself to save the others by touching the Witch Eater stuff. This allows the staff to absorb his magic and his life and defeat the enemy that they were all facing. But for some reason he didn't die. And we leave the opening 3 episodes with only one really clear idea about his power. And it's that he can't control his magic or cast normal spells because his magic is likely infinite. And we set up a little bit of how he can use this by giving a bit of group dynamic. So he can supply magic to others, like a massive battery, to help heal or to help power spells. And it really does make me just want to watch where the rest of this goes.
Well, you got my interest.
Characters seem more relatable in their troubles. The world is really well described. It's done a lot in the first 3 episodes to show the setup for how they want to go. It may be an acquired taste, but the little nods to real maturity here have pushed it a little way into just almost into the must-watch territory for me.
So maybe by episode 6 you'll know for sure.
So for me, this is a borderline between acquired taste and nothing special, because the first season was so goddamn good. This has some mighty shoes to fill, and in all honesty, I don't think it can. I don't like this protagonist who, he's just a battery. He's just an infinite battery. He can supply everyone. I don't like him. I don't like him because he is such a Gary Stu.
So seen in a vacuum, it's good, but seen in context, it's not as good, is what you're saying?
Yeah. And the big thing is, the real reason why I want to watch this show is for the 2 characters that I loved in the first series so much. So
were they the ones in the credits that we saw?
Yes! They're in the fucking credits so goddamn much! And they're not in the show!
What's the name of the first one?
Grimoire of Zero. Right?
Right, I'll have to give that a watch so I can come back to this.
And
I kind of want to know which order to watch. Like, should I watch this one first and then watch that one?
No. Watch Grimoire of Zero first. It sets up the world because there's so much Thaylien missed. Because again, it's not explained in this one in terms of the world setting and stuff.
They can't really go into everything, can they?
Okay, all right, cool.
Right. We're over time for this one, so let's jump
that's fine.
into Oh gosh.
The Executioner and Her Way of Life.
Yes. Okay. I'm overly optimistic. Maybe I'm too optimistic. This is a must-watch.
Yep, I agree.
Right.
Although it is
Hit
cautiously
hit the must-watch.
Sorry, I was getting the cat, getting rid of the cat.
Fair.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
What were you saying?
It's like almost acquired taste. Like you gotta be. It's cautiously a must-watch.
Yeah. It like this could go south. Right, but the best thing I like about this show is it's the isekai show that
shows the
it's
consequences
from the other perspective. It's the consequences of all these characters that have ungodly power and just fucking wreck up
infinite knowledge.
Yeah,
well, not infinite knowledge, but you know what I mean.
The fact that when the show starts, you're introduced to Blank Kun.
Yeah,
suck it. And you know the the executioner girl who is putting on a facade of a priestess.
Well, she is a priestess. It's just that
a priestess of murder.
Their priesthood is different. Yeah.
Oh, murder.
But,
the Faust, I believe, is what they call the church.
She's talking to him. She's like, oh, I'll look after you. I'll give you best direction I can. I'm part of a church that looks after what other worlders? I think that's what they're called. I can't.
Yeah.
And so she's walking, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I could show you things like electricity and all this stuff." And literally, they walk into the street and like they have all this already. Because the big thing is that they are not. So this guy is not the first one to be summoned to their world. He's far from it, and he realizes, wait, you speak perfect Japanese. Yeah, because you guys have been coming here for fucking hundreds of years.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
But the problem is that the other worlders, when they're brought here, they are effectively granted a uncontrollable superpower.
It's pure concept, I think.
Yes. They're and his pure concept was null, so nothing. And he literally can destroy anything. He can just turn it into nothing. There's nothing left behind. And, his pure concept was far too powerful, and she, executes him.
Well, it's not only was it too powerful, but you could see right at that moment when he realized what he could do, he was like, I could reshape the world. I could do anything. And
no one can stand against me. And
And so the power was going to his head, immediately.
And, so I don't want to go into too much detail about the show itself, because I want you guys to go and experience it. This is just episode 1.
Yeah.
It gets really good, and it really heavily hints throughout the course of the narrative that maybe things are not only not as they seem from the executioner's perspective, but not what they seem from the other worlder's perspective as well. So this for me is definitely a must-watch, especially for the concept of you are looking at main characters that aren't from Japan. I love it so much. Right.
The only one I don't really like is Momo. Also, I think the pure concepts that we've seen so far have been really well thought out.
Yes.
They put a lot of thought into this world.
This show is ahead. It was one of the first shows that was aired this season. So this, by the time we're recording this, it's actually on 4 episodes. So I think the 5th episode will be out by the time you all see this. Right. So I don't want to spend unless you have any questions. Let's move on to the next one. I want to try
you mentioned all the pure concepts and things. Give me one other.
No.
No.
No, I really don't want to.
Not even the one, not the one of our main characters.
Nope, I don't. I really don't want to.
All right, no, that's good. That's fine. I think we've only seen three so far.
I thought we only seen 2.
No. You've forgotten the one from the flashback.
I don't know what that one was.
White. It was the pure concept of white.
You spoiled that.
Yes. Yeah. So that's why everything around was like white and gushy and ugh. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I thought that was elaborated in the 4th episode, but anyway.
No.
So
Wait, is it?
Next.
Yeah. So, Miss Shachiku and the little baby ghost. What? There we go. Personally, for me, it is a pass. But I think in general, for the general audience, it would be nothing special. I think Xeno might even enjoy it, honestly. Maybe I don't. How much do you like cute slice of life? Because it kind of, to me, it kind of feels like Komi, but with, or no, sorry, not Komi. Kobayashi, but with little ghosts, little tiny cute ghosts.
Okay.
So it centers around an office worker who works super late hours, like all the time, like almost every day. Like we're talking 2, 3 in the morning. Yeah, exactly. But she has to actually stay in the office.
God.
And so they think that the office is haunted because like food and stuff has been disappearing. And it turns out, of course, that there's a little ghost, this little ghost on the screen who lives there. And we do actually, well, maybe I shouldn't spoil that. There's a reason that she sees well, her name eventually is Shachiku, which means like work slave. But we don't, I don't think we actually know what her real name is. We might. They probably, someone's probably said it somewhere and I've forgotten. The little ghost doesn't want to see her here working. And so she decides to go get like a megaphone and a little boombox that for some reason are in the office, and record herself on the boombox, and then play it over the megaphone with a voice filter on it to make it sound like all creepy and stuff. Of course, she's found out, and cuteness ensues, and you know, she does eventually like get her to leave the office at one point during one of the episodes, and like take her. But the only way she does it is if she comes with her. Sorry, the only way Shachiku leaves is if the little ghost comes with her. Gosh. Right. And so that's how you get them introduced to the being together at home rather than just at work. But it is mainly focused. How big a cast is this? So for most of the 3 episodes, it's just Shachiku and Little Ghost. Right. There are some other office workers that occasionally there's like a Kohai-san that they introduce in episode 2, I think. And then there's also going to be 2 other little critters. They just introduced the 3rd one, or the 2nd one at the end of episode 3. It's a little like cat girl spirit that was a cat that they rescued and turned into a cat girl spirit. And then there's another one that hasn't been introduced yet, but you see in the opening credits.
So the cat turns into a cat girl spirit. Did they still see the cat, or is it like, no, cat died, now it's a spirit?
She can transform between them.
Okay. So she's still a cat. Good.
Yeah.
Because that sounded really sad and depressing. I'm not gonna
No. They rescued her, and but it turns out that she's not just a cat. She's a cat spirit thing.
She's a person too.
Yeah. It's so saccharine cute. I mean, every time the little girl does something cute, it just makes Shachiku work harder, which is sort of seems against what her goal is. She wants to make her stop working, but it's all right. It's not offensive. I just don't like slice of life, and this is just like
slice of life,
kind of run of the mill slice of life.
Not even with the action scenes that Kobayashi has. Yeah,
there's no. I mean, aside from them being ghosts, there's no like exploration of you're from another world, or what does it mean to be a ghost, or anything like that so far. So it's meh.
Fair enough. Okay then.
Any final thoughts?
I think I've already said it. Oh yeah, by episode 2, I was noting down just how bored I was and eager how Hiro is for the credits, but I plan to stick it out. In retrospect, I ask why.
So you're gonna drop this?
Yeah, it's gone. I'm not watching this anymore.
Cool. Fair.
Okay. Well, it's okay to be under time for things. I think it's me, isn't it? Because I'm dropping on to "Don't Hurt Me, My Healer."
Oh. Yeah. That's the wrong one. That is so the wrong one. Don't Hurt Me, My Healer is her. Yes. How could I forget her? How could I forget her?
Indeed. So this is an acquired taste. Okay. I like it and I wasn't expecting it to be what it is. I was expecting, like general incompetency to this thing. When he said, "Don't hurt me, my healer," I was expecting, things to go wrong. But that's only one part of it. It's a standard fantasy-ish setting. People can become warriors or mages, go out on adventures, but every good party needs a healer. And we meet our protagonist, Arvin. He's 30 years old, and he's setting out on his very first adventure. And in the first episode, he takes on a horned bear as his first fight against a monster. But he's being really pushed by this, as he's only a beginner. And the fight is approached by a young elven healer who asks if he's in need of any help. And this immediately goes downhill, as when he says, yes, help would be appreciated, Carla, the healer, prepares to invoke a spell, but instead says, when you ask for help, shouldn't you grovel on your knees? And I have been metronoming ever since between laughing and wanting to throttle that little elf. Okay, this show is specifically made for those kind of people who get a kick out of watching other people get trolled on Twitter. Carla is the most entitled little thing I've met in a while, and poor Alvin has to put up with her until a little problem is solved. Because when Carla was going to buff him for his fight with the bear, he was so angry at what she was actually saying at the time that he shouted at her. And because of this, it threw off her concentration, and she accidentally cursed him.
I don't buy that for a second. I'm pretty sure it was on purpose.
Hold on, because now if he gets more than 300 yards away from her, he'll die. So he's stuck with this pain in the ass for the foreseeable future. And it doesn't help that every time he tries to be an actual adventurer, something else goes wrong. The hornbearer he was fighting, actually a lovely woman who has a nice house and let them stay after she accidentally injured him badly. And the quest he was on originally leads through a graveyard full of ghosts. He tries to fight them, but only to be reminded, too late, that they're ghosts and a sword does nothing. And Carla then says you have to get the ghost to pass on, and she uses him as and at least you're not this guy kind of example, and all of their troubles seem so petty by comparison to him that they pass on. So it's just this one round of humiliation after another. And then there's of course the hints that Carla isn't originally a healer. After the accidental curse, which is not something a healer should be able to do in the first place. She also shows that she can summon creatures, and the easiest thing for her to summon is this little dark tentacle creature she pulls out of an abyss. And I'm expecting there to be some significant reveals about her being some kind of necromancer or dark wizard.
Dark elf. She's a dark elf.
Yeah, she's a dark elf, but I don't think a dark elf actually means, all that much. I'm definitely putting it as the acquired taste, because people will find Carla absolutely infuriating. But she's not infuriating us, she's infuriating Alvin. So it's absolutely hilarious if you have that little sadistic turn of mind like I do. I recommend everybody gives it the 3 episode rule just to see if they enjoy it. Because if you don't, that's fine. But I really like how it's been making me go back and forth between these two states.
I could live with Carla being an uber bitch. I probably shouldn't say that. A turbo troll. There we go, turbo troll.
Turbo troll.
If it weren't, so I dislike this the same way I dislike Jahi, where it's the same setup and punchline every time. Even in the 3rd episode, when they're arguing in the woods and a wolf pops out and yells at them to be quiet, it's like, oh, that's a monster. No, but it just wants you to be quiet. It's just like a normal person. The ghosts are just normal like everyone else. The near bear is normal just like everyone else. It's this, and every time he does something, she shits on it. Or with after they recover at the bear's house, and she's like, I did such a good job. I deserve this scepter. This is mine now. It's like it's always just the same joke.
If she just asked for it, she would have gotten it anyway, which is why she gets away with it. But
yeah,
that whole scene right there says it all. She is just there to infuriate him, and
I don't know. That's
the whole thing. It's difficult to make me hate a character like this. It's easy for you to not like a character. You look at Mineta from My Hero Academia, and he's just a genuinely unlikable character. This is a character that is written to get a rise out of people, and that's really difficult to do. In the way that they've succeeded here. So I do like it a little bit.
I'd also kind of like to see Alvin just get it one up on her sometime, just once.
Oh yes,
just once,
just once or twice.
I couldn't keep watching this though. I can't.
That's fair enough. Again, acquired taste.
Yep. Yeah. Dino, any thoughts? Did you watch this one? You didn't watch this one, did you?
No, I haven't seen this one.
Yeah, see, look at that. They're actually having a stop and have a conversation with the near bear.
Well, it was like doing marriage counseling between them.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Except.
Yep. Anything else?
Thought.
I mean, it's so weird how maybe I'll give this one a go. It's like Jahi, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. It is exactly the same setup and joke every time.
Right, should we move on to...
Yeah, please.
Okay. Cool, so my next one is Data Live, and the sad truth is I have to give this an acquired taste, right? If this was season 1, it would be a must-watch, but the problem is you have to watch 3 seasons and a movie before you can really pick up season 4, which is a tall order. Right, not necessarily everyone has the time. If you the animation for season 4, it feels like it's a different studio, but the animation quality is still akin to the original. The narrative is very similar with some nice, interesting additions, not changes, additions. It still respects the past seasons. It could easily just go, that was a thing that we're going to ignore entirely. No, it actually respects the seasons. Unfortunately, the plot did get a bit spoiled for me because of one of Nasuth's bloody streams. Bloody streams.
Was it? I don't...
Yeah, someone dropped a spoiler.
Oh.
God, what was it? I all round like it. If you've seen Data Live before, or you like those sort of harem shows where the main guy isn't the super Giga Chad, it's that sort of show. But again, you really need to see the other 3 seasons before it and the movie. So if you're gonna get into it,
prepare for a marathon.
Yeah, so season 1 is really good. Season 2 is okay. Season 3 is brilliant. I love season 3 a lot. It went in a direction I was not expecting. And season 4 is actually going at a really healthy, quick pace, right? Okay. It's not going too fast like I feel like Rising of the Shield Hero is going. But this is going fast enough to where is this going?
Quick but comfortable. You don't have to
quick but comfortable.
Yeah, okay.
You don't have to question wait, what just happened? I don't know if you have any questions or if we should I don't really see a need to linger on this.
We've gone over a couple. Being short on this one's not too bad.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so let's move on to...
So, I've actually saved my least favorite one for the last. I've hated stuff already. I've hated... Don't Hurt Me, My Healer, but I hate this one even worse. But, that's for last. For now, we're going to do my favorite of the season, which is Summertime Rendering. So, if that didn't already make it clear, this is indeed... a must-watch.
Let's dive right into this, shall we? Let's dive right in.
And do remember that Nasuth is from Japan, so that's the only way he's actually seen this.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I'm everywhere. I am all places and all things to everyone. No. So I really want to try and not give away too much on this one. There's only been 2 episodes, but honestly, by the end of episode 1, I knew it was going to be a must-watch, and episode 2 has not changed my opinion on it at all.
So you say you don't want to spoil too much yet. You have reams of notes.
This is all about episode 1, okay? This is all about episode 1. Which I know.
This is like the majority of your document.
Oh, you should see the actual. No, I'm not gonna show you the actual notes.
These are just his bullet points.
Yes, yes. Oh god.
See,
okay.
Sorry, I'm gonna tangent this ever so briefly. You can pause the timer, right? so what you call it?
Oh, it won't stop.
Nasuth was stressing. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Nasuth was stressing, saying that he had too much to do with regards to getting ready for Kanpai Cast. And I was like, what? Why? You know, it's like, oh, I need to take notes. Well, you don't have to take notes. I mean, just, you know.
I do.
Oh, no, I really
though.
have to. I really have to. Okay, fine. Okay. Well, we'll make this easier. Friday night, we organized which shows we were going to review, so that instead of Nasuth writing, 15 different reviews?
Oh, I already had most of them done.
You were only going to write a fraction of them, right?
Yeah.
And then
this is all like just copied out of the bigger one. It's fine.
Yeah, but you fucking done like we gave you 7 things to do, and you still came up with like 3 essays worth. Jeez, man. Scared to know what you would come up with if you actually did the others as well. 6 essays.
Okay, alright.
Alright, continue.
So essentially, this is the story of a boy his name is Shion, coming back. Sorry, not Shion. His name is Shinpei. Who is coming back to his home village on an island to see attend the funeral of his best friend / adopted sister, Ushio, who recently died, like, drowning in a river, saving this little girl who is also, who you know, like, she saved the girl from drowning, but somehow drowned herself. And he starts out with a dream about her, telling him to to watch out and take care of his sister, or her sister. And that's when he wakes up into the boobs, because he's, like, shocked awake, and he leaps forward and face plants into boobs. But so it's like the pacing of this first episode is really good. It's really, they build up slowly. You get to know him, and then you get to know slowly, but like steadily. You get to know him, and then you get to know this other character whose name is Mio. It's the other sister in the family. And they walk through the village on their way to the funeral. You get to meet his best male friend at the funeral, and you get set up to the family of the girl who was drowning, and you get to meet his father that night. Oh, sorry, his adopted father. And you know, you get to see that they have like a business, and they live above the business, and it's all these little touches that build you up to it. But then about halfway through, they start hitting you with the actual plot, which is the entire family of the girl that was drowning disappear. The next day after the funeral, they're just gone. And when Mio hears this, she feels like, you know, oh no, the death of my sister means nothing now. What's going on? And so she kind of runs out, and Shinpei follows her. And it's revealed that 3 days.
Sorry, I need to stop you. I am so lost.
Oh, damn it.
You've confused the fuck out of me.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
I'm sorry. Like, okay.
I'm following, but
so main protagonist is coming back home because of a funeral.
Yes. His adopted sister. He has 2 adopted sisters, Mio and Shion.
Are they blood related?
Yes, those 2 are blood related. His parents died like 10 years ago, and they took.
No, that's irrelevant.
Him.
That's irrelevant, right? Okay. So the 2 sisters are blood related,
yes.
Right? Are the parent who are the parents related to? By blood.
Which parents?
Him. Of the adopted sister, like the whole family.
His parents died 10 years ago.
His parents died 10 years ago. Her family, Shion and Mio's family, took him in.
So he's the adopted one.
He is the adopted one. That's what I mean when I say adopted sisters, yeah.
Okay. But
they're not his actual sisters, they're his adopted sisters.
But then you said the family disappeared, except...
The family of the girl
one of the sisters died.
Okay, yes, one of the sisters died saving a girl who was drowning.
Right.
But then the family disappeared. Drowning, her and her family disappeared the day after the funeral for the girl who died. So the girl who was drowning is alive.
Right.
Yes? Yeah?
But gone.
She's gone. Her entire family just disappears.
Okay.
They were at the funeral, and then the next day they're just gone.
Gone. Right. Okay.
Right? And so Mio, who feels like, Shion's death meant, why would the family run away after they, something so big had happened,
Okay.
to them. And so she runs out in, kind of in distress. Shinpei follows her.
Who's she?
Mio. This one right here, Mio.
Right.
This is Mio, and this is Shinpei.
The other adopted sister. Right. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
She runs out
in distress.
In distress. He follows after her, and after he calms her down, she tells him that 3 days before Shion's death, the blonde one here, this is when they were young. 3 days before her death, Shion and Mio saw like an exact replica or like exact duplicate of Shion. And then 3 days later, she was
before her death.
Yes, 3 days prior to her death, and then 3 days later, she was dead. And this
I can already tell you there's a time travel element to this because you keep on throwing days and time and shit around.
Yeah, there is. I'm not gonna spoil it, but there is. So far, it's been handled all right, though.
Okay. Right.
But yeah, so yeah, there's this build up to them going up to this shrine because they find out about this thing called shadow people. There's like an old legend about it. And it all builds up to them going up to the shrine and seeing the little girl and then chasing after her, and that's where I'm gonna end it.
Now we know why this is in Disney Plus jail. So, okay,
because there's a lot of violence in it. There's a lot of blood at the end,
and diving straight forward into the
and boobies. Yes.
Okay, so when this eventually comes out of Disney Plus jail in several months' time.
Go watch
I'll probably give it a go.
It is so good. It is.
Right. Should we move on to the next one?
Yes. Sorry for taking up so much time.
Which I believe is my last one. The greatest demon lord reborn as a typical nobody.
Can I guess?
Oh my gosh!
I just want to guess. Right.
Okay. Now, this one surprised me. I'm actually going to put it as acquired taste, borderline must watch.
Ooh, what?
Because I dragged myself through Strongest Sage with the Weakest Crest last season. And this is that show done right. Now, either of you watched it?
Sorry, which one?
The Strongest
Crest? No, I didn't.
Weakest
Crest.
Reborn.
Oh, no, I'm not watching.
No, this new one. Have either of you picked up this new one?
No, okay. Are you genuinely sure? Because it's like the fact that the title is The Greatest Demon Lord Reborn as a Typical Nobody.
I was really skeptical of this.
Well, the title's already a lie because I know for a fact he's not a typical nobody. He's gonna be the strongest one still.
Yes. So that's the thing. So, but the thing is that where Strongest Sage had the protagonist selfishly reincarnate himself to attain more power, then smugly smug his way through every single test and challenge, Gary stewing his path through life. This one actually is better than that. Okay. So the protagonist here was formerly a demon lord. Okay. So-called because he conquered kingdoms, destroyed gods, and succeeded in making the world a better place, uniting the world. But inside, he's lost, alone, and hurt because everyone's afraid of him, afraid of his power, and he even betrayed his only friend. Okay? And we open up the show with him seeing her on her funeral bed. Okay. So all the people that could challenge him are gone. Everyone fears his power. So he reincarnates for the chance to be friends with people. At last. He wants to be a nobody, keeping a low profile and not to be feared for his power. So he's then born as Ard Meteor to the kind of parents who still openly flirt with each other at the dinner table, all lovey-dovey. And I was really skeptical because the very first thing he does by the time he's 10 years old, has established that he's still incredibly strong and can immolate monsters as a way to take out his stress. He's not ordinary, he's not a nobody. But he is born in a country village that is kind of making him a nobody. But the twist comes in when he tries to make friends, because he can't. He comes off as a creep because he has no social skills whatsoever. He thinks in terms of strategy, politics, and has no concept of how to be a 10-year-old child. Except that he also is a 10-year-old child, so when he tries to talk to a bunch of girls, he literally gets so stressed he feels sick.
Okay, alright.
So things get even funnier when he meets the daughter of his parents' friend. Their parents' friend is the mayor, who's an elf, and his daughter is called Irina. And she's almost exactly like him. She's kind of like a weaker version of him. She immolates monsters to relieve stress. She was feared and ostracized by her former friends in the city she came from. And she hates everyone being scared of her for her power. And at the start of the show, unfortunately for poor Ard, he's trying to be nice to her, to be her friend just like everybody else wanted to be originally. And it just comes off as so creepy. Like he's running through the streets, shouting pleasantries after her as she's running away, calling him a creep. In any case, where they actually do become good friends when monsters attack the village in a massive thing, and she's outside the village. He heads off, saves her from the monsters, and proves that he's also powerful. So they can be friends because he's not scared of her. And he, they promise to be her friend no matter what. It's kind of a cute moment. But we smash cut to about 6 years later, when they're a little bit more grown up, and she just says to him, "Hey, let's attend the Magic Academy together." He's like, "What? Okay, I guess." And so they go in, they attend, they are let in as legacies because it turns out he never was a nobody because his parents are heroes that have retired to this little village in the sticks. And her father was one of the heroes that worked with them to defeat some dragon, 10 years ago. So he's automatically accepted, and he is definitely the strongest there. It's very difficult for him to keep the secret there. And it's even gets worse because one of the teachers, his teacher, is actually somehow a surviving member of his underlings from back when he was a demon lord. And it's played really solidly for the laughs there. It's very self-aware. He's going for these tropes there. And he's, he tries to be a nice person. But unlike the Gary Stu-ness of Strongest Stage, it's balanced with Irina. She's also strong, nearly as strong as he is. There's kind of a power gap there. But she's the outgoing and friendly one that starts setting up all these things with the other people. When somebody's being bullied, she's the one that goes up and slaps the guy. It's never the demon lord. It's never Ard making these events happen because he's trying to keep a low profile. And so the balance between those two actually makes for a good, solid little character interaction. So, even if this falls off the rails by the 6th episode mark, I have already enjoyed this show far more than I did Strongest Sage. Okay, in the first 3 episodes, I have enjoyed it way more than shows that are direct counterparts. But it's all the characters. Okay, they're done for the laughs. It's self-aware, and having the extra character who is also powerful balances out the Gary Stu-ness of the main character.
I don't know if I want to wait for another 3 episodes to hear the 6th episode review.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a lot of these overpowered protagonist shows. Hell, even Skeleton Knight's already one of them.
But at least Skeleton Knight has that really good energy.
Yeah, if you come back in 3 episodes' time and you are able to say, yes, this is still holding good, still holding fast, I'll give it a go.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I'm just too skeptical.
That's why I say it. again, much like the other one, depending on how it goes, it could become a must-watch, or it could stay as a quiet taste, or it could just completely fall off the rails and go for a pass. But so far, the characters are holding up well. And, there's been a nice balance of wholesome fan service action. It doesn't leave you wanting for progression.
Okay, let's yeah.
I'm not convinced, but I'm glad you're enjoying it.
If you could, as I said, if you can turn to me in 3 episodes' time and say it still holds true, I'll give it a go.
Fair enough.
And then we're moving on to my last one.
Yep.
100% must watch, no questions asked. I cannot believe how good this show is. Okay, so really simple premise. Romeo and Juliet meets Power Rangers. Doesn't really need more explanation than that. You've got the Red Ranger falls in love with effectively Goldar.
Oh my god.
I'm not wrong, right? One of the reasons that I'm actually very impressed by this show is actually the animation. The animation does not hold back. And for this sort of premise, I thought that this was a show that wasn't going to get much love, and thus a shittier budget, and thus it won't be that good. But very distinctly, they have put the effort in for this one. It is a pure rom-com, which is just brilliant. And you can actually see this, like, boy meets girl scenario. The boy tries to go the extra mile for the girl, and I just freaking love it. It is so well done. It's such a good series. I love the humor. It is a bit ecchi because of what the villains wear. Especially our Goldar character.
I mean, that's such a staple in anime comedies, though. It's It
was even a staple in the live-action ones for a lot of the female antagonists.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it really does hold true to form. And it's just freaking brilliant. Do you guys both watch this?
No, but I'm probably going to.
Oh, you really
on your recommendation,
need to.
Yes.
Yeah, honestly. So the way that this is set up, like basically Red Ranger and Goldar. I'm not going to call her. Her name is actually Reaper Princess, right? And
you remembered it.
Yeah, exactly, right? And it's red gelato, right? They're the Gelato Rangers. It's fucking brilliant, right? And his flavor's strawberry, and and so they are secretly trying to have these relationships. So as soon as there's a fight, basically the pair of them take the fight somewhere else, hidden, secluded, so they don't actually have to fight and they can spend time with each other. But sometimes they get caught out by like someone just turning up and things, and they have to sort of they have to kind of mock fight. And one of the memes that was on the Kanpai Cast Twitter, which everyone should go follow and everything, it's basically this guy who has this girl sit on his face, right? It is from this show. I have to tell you, right? So basically, he sneaks into their hidden base. She sort of like takes him to her room, to which they're talking on her couch, and then someone just like basically does a telephone call, like a conference call. Video call, thank you. Yes, they're doing a video call, so they can instantly see. And in 0.41 of a second, does she sort of basically jump up, grab his head, put it down on the couch, and sits on his face just to hide him. I am creeped out by how close Thaylien's got to his camera. Honestly, it is so funny, this whole Romeo and Juliet situation. And it is...
Degenerate. Just degenerate.
I have, like, and they are evolving the relationship. Like, they are trying to see each other outside of their combats and things like this. To the point of, Red Gelato ends up buying his first ever smartphone just so that they can text each other.
Oh my God.
It's, honestly, it's great. I love it. It's so wholesome. It's so on the nose with the Romeo and Juliet. It's, I love it. I love it. I really freaking love it. It's so funny. And yeah, I strongly recommend this one. Cool.
Nice. So, the very last one, I think, from Nasuth now.
Is it in... Yes, it is. There it is. Oh, there's that face.
Right,
face.
okay.
And then but that smile. That damn smile. No, oh God, if there was something lower than pass, I would give it to this one. I want my time back that I wasted on these 3 episodes. Please, for the love of God.
Inventing it now, the Kanpai Cast official kill it with fire.
Yamate Kudasai. So, you know, we know that Battle After 5 Seconds was terrible, right?
Yeah.
So this is not terrible in the same ways, but it is.
It's terrible in different ways.
So, they, for some reason that doesn't really matter, they are these 5 friends are pulled into this game, which is why it's called Tomodachi Game. It's the friend game. And the goal is they've each got a 4 million yen debt, and the goal is to play these games to pay off the debt. Like, each round gives them like 400k. But of course there are modifiers, right? Each round has modifiers, and these aren't just the only rules that he gives them at the start. They start adding rules throughout the games that continue on between them, and it's like, well, if I'd known that, I would have said fuck off. But the first episode covers them getting there and most of the first game, which is like they've got to push a coin either to yes or no, and if they answer yes, they have five attempts to do this, and they have 5 questions. They only have to get yes once. So it's like, does 1 + 1 = 2? And you push it to yes, then you pass on. But for some reason, every time he has to get a question, it keeps going to no. And so we find out he gets a card that tells him, if you push it to no, your debt will be cut in half. And so presumably everyone else who has been reading these cards and asking the questions also has a message like that. But he eventually manages to get them all to push it to yes instead, by claiming that his said that the person with the least debt will get all the debt from everyone else in the game. And they actually believe him. You know, it's a he plays a bluff. It works. You know, that's wrapped up in the beginning of the 2nd episode, right? That's fine. They spend a little more time after that. One of the girls comes in and talks to him and is like, "Oh, can we be allies? You know, I really like you," and blah blah blah. And the thing is, she actually might, but it doesn't necessarily come off that way. And then they start the 2nd game, which is kind of like a weird board game where they have to tell bad things about each other in order to move further ahead. And this goes on until the end of episode 3. And in fact, by the end of episode 3, we've only gone through 5 rounds. The 3rd episode is 1 single round, and they're not done with the game by the time it ends.
So it's really slowed down.
It's really, really slow. And they waste so much time with these 2 women who are monitoring them, who are watching them in a control room or something. And they keep talking. They're like, "Oh, this is no ordinary high schooler. There's something special about him." There's not. It's just that everyone else in his friend group is utter morons. And they waste time. They further waste time with that by repeating things that we've seen, and then trying to be like, "Oh, here are the psychological consequences of that," as if they weren't already clear. I hate this. I hate this. It leaves a disgusting taste in my mouth.
I don't think I've heard you so distraught before.
I mean, I was hoping for something like Squid Game, right? Something that's actually really good and clever, and it's not. It's just we also find out. I'm not even worried about spoiling this. In the 3rd episode, they tell us who got them involved in this, which one in the friend group got involved with this, and it's somebody who was. There's a love triangle, of course. Love quadrangle. So
Square?
One of the guys, yeah.
No, uneven square, quadrangle.
One of the guys used to date this girl, Sawagiri, the long black-haired girl.
Okay.
Long black-haired, yes. But it was kind of like a sham, supposedly, because their family just wanted them to be together, and she didn't really want to. But he's really, really in love with her, really secretly. And then there's another guy that wants to be with her, but she doesn't like him that way. And then there's our main character who she wants to be with, but he doesn't necessarily like her that way. It's the guy that was her former boyfriend who has been stalking her and recording every interaction she's been in. So he knows all the dark, dirty secrets, and he's the one that's doing this to isolate her, so that from all the rest of the friend group, so that she has to come to him. That's the entire goal. That's his entire motivation as the antagonist.
No, I'm confused.
Do have a question. Yeah, Xeno, go.
Okay, I'm confused.
What are you confused about, Xeno? Tell me, what in this horrible, boring mess could confuse you?
I tell you, shut up. Right.
Daddy.
So we have this game, and they've all been given 4 million grand's worth of debt.
Yes. Yeah. Oh no, just 4 million. Yeah, but yeah.
Sorry, 4 million. Sorry. Yeah. They've all been given 4 million money's worth of debt. Right? So where's the 4 million for me to spend?
Well, if you win the game, you get 4 million. I know it's dumb. Yes. They frame it as a debt, but it's like also if you win, you get a bunch of money. If you're the winner or something, I don't know.
So if everybody else goes into debt because of it.
Yeah.
This is fucking stupid.
Yeah, straight from the go, it's kind of stupid. But I was like, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you in the first episode. It's a dumb setup to get them there, but it could be okay.
If it's a case of, like, oh yeah, we need them to, so you could win 4 million. No, I'm good. You know. Well, we have to force them to win the 4 million. So we'll make them have 4 million worth of debt. How? Do you just fucking hack their bank account and transfer out 4 million? Like, the fuck? What kind of ludicrous system is this? I wish I could just suddenly have 4 million pounds.
They justify it by saying, if one of the friends did this, got them into this mess, then they should do it because that friend obviously needs the money for something, and so they should help their friends, and they should help each other out. It's just like
this friend game. Okay.
I do
have
a
sounds
question,
logically deprived.
We've got this love quadrangle, right? Typically, those are formed when more than one person is the object of love, right? So, you got two guys like her, and she likes the third guy.
Yes.
Which one of the guys does the third guy like to make it into a?
Okay, I guess it's more of a love sunburst, ray point thing.
Yeah. So wait, does the other girl like her as well?
I would actually give them points if that was the case. If he was just gay.
No,
that would just genuinely be a good point. I think.
Right.
We have smashed this one.
My head hurts. My head hurts. Can I go lay down for a little while, please?
Well, no, because it's time for the fun part of the show.
Oh, yeah. Good, the fun part. Oh, I do like the fun part.
As if all of this wasn't fun before.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Go on. Oh, yeah, it's me, actually.
Yeah, you get to do this.
Right, so it's time for some supporter questions, isn't it? Right. So, Zrugal says, before I read out Zrugal's questions, singular, I just want to ask our lovely audience to smash that like button and leave a comment below. I promise we read each and every comment. Sorry, no way. Zrugal also says, other than My Dress Up Darling, what is your new your favorite new show? It doesn't just have to be new, just something you've not seen until recently.
Well, I've got mine. If it's not from this current season, if it was from this current season, it would be Summertime Rendering. But if we're excluding this current season, I did recently watch. Is it Tiger and Bunny?
Yeah.
Bunny, really?
Yeah, I just recently watched that on Netflix, and I actually really enjoyed it.
I think from this season, I think Skeleton Knight just.
Oh yeah, it is really good too.
The sheer silliness that it has, but after. If we're just taking it from all of them, I think Komi is my favorite.
That's fair. That is fair.
I'm gonna say I'm really happy that Data Live getting in season 4, and thus far it's going so well. However, I will say Grimoire Zero. I watched that relatively recently because basically Giguk did a video where he was like, "Oh, wait a second, I recognize those characters from Dawn of the Witch. Yes, it's a sequel based on the Grimoire Zero." So I watched the Grimoire Zero. I actually really, really loved it. I thought it was really, really good. So, yeah, that's there you go. Authentic births.
That's a spelling mistake.
What? How did I do that? It's supposed to be British.
Okay.
Authentic British accent.
Okay, authentic British accent.
It's not fair to do to the dyslexic person. I'm sorry.
And yet, for Komi, the winter has just started. Does it ever throw you off when you're watching seasonal anime that the seasons never quite match with what's going on, and yearly events come around faster for the characters than they do for you? No, because when I binge watch shit, like it is just like, yeah.
Oh, it's the Christmas episode of X series.
It's Christmas and Valentine's and White Day every day.
Yeah, it does throw me a little. I do get a little bit. I'll look out the window and say, but no, it's spring.
If it's summer and they're doing winter stuff, then I'm jealous. Yeah. I'm jealous of them.
Right. Oh dear God. Oh dear God. Oh dear God. Right. As a thought exercise, and excluding Rias Gremory for Xeno, you now have to imagine the best anime as demon queens.
Best girls of anime.
Best girls of anime
as demon queens. Considering whether they fit the bill or whether you would be excluded.
Whether they would be excluded.
Whether they were excluded by their natural good points. Now that you've thought of them, which demon queen would you consider worth quitting being a hero for to join her side? Ryoko?
Yeah. I should have excluded Ryoko for you. It had to be a thing. But yeah. No, but Ryoko does fit a demon queen, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And you'd quit heroing for her.
Yeah.
What about you, Nasuth?
I don't know. Jolene Joestar.
Cujo.
Jolene Cujo. Jolene Cujo Star.
So I actually asked that question with no clear view of it for my own answer. So.
Well, so what is it, Thaylien?
Let's see. If I had to pick a character that would be an appropriate demon queen, but one not only that it would be appropriate, that I'd have to actually quit heroing for, I think Erd from Armor Goddess. She fits. Okay, definitely.
Yeah, I can see that.
Right. Next we have our Bone Lord and Savior. We now know your top picks for the season so far, and what shows made you want to hit something. So here's the question: could Anya beat Saitama?
Yes. He would find that hilarious and adorable.
No. I'll tell you why. Because there'd be no contest. She would read his mind and do something nice. Okay, so there wouldn't actually be a competition at all. There'd be no conflict. Anya would do something nice, and Saitama would just go, "Oh, this child is lost but not sassy. I like her."
I think the simple answer to this is Saitama don't hit kids.
Well,
yeah, even though that weird chin kid just was so hittable.
No, I think there would be a child that he hits if it was a monster.
It's the monster, though.
But kids. Kids are monsters.
Children are monsters, it's true.
But he didn't hit the weird chin kid.
You're a weird chin kid.
The weird chin kid was...
The weird chin kid was a monster because he fucking drew nipples with permanent marker on the shell of the crab monster. You know? That shit ain't coming off, man.
Well, he's lucky that he got killed for it then.
Anyway.
Anyway.
So let's move on to the comments.
Comment section.
Yes. Yeah. So, Strombus Shell says, was going to tease you guys about your list and then end it by saying, I can't believe you guys even made these lists, but I won't. I wish you had. That's what anime fans do to each other. They always tear each other apart. It's, nobody hates weebs more than weebs.
Oh, yeah, you judge us harshly for these things. Yeah, in fact, judge us more for the things we've come up with in this episode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Tell me how wrong I am about, putting here.
I'm surprised that they haven't actually turned around and just said, like, oh my god, that show is so mid.
Yeah, yep,
right.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
So let's move on to the memes for this week. Just to remind everyone.
Oh, yes.
Just to remind everyone that there are memes on the Twitter account. So if you go to twitter.com/Kanpai_cast, you'll find daily memes, 3 a day, curated by the three of us, some of us. One of us.
Mostly one of us.
And it's just brilliant. So go check them out. Right, anyway. So
memes of this kind of quality. Ara women when they see a guy who looks like he's never hit puberty.
Oh god.
It's true. It's true though.
Oh, dear.
It's so true.
Okay.
Meme number 2, Horny Slayer. Kind of fitting after the first one, I think.
Bonk breath number 1.
Yep.
Anime that took years to become famous. Spy Family. Yep. Oh,
brilliant.
I won't let you sleep. Oh yeah? Let's see. It's all these anime girls without hair. It's Ooh. I'm sorry, please.
All the anime egg.
Yep.
Number 5. Yes. Me watching Neon Genesis Evangelion in my mid-30s. I never thought that sleeping could be so exhausting. And I took that personally. You have no idea, Shinji. Just no idea. And finally, One Slap Man.
Oh, God. Oh, dear God.
At least Saitama doesn't have his wife pushing him on for it.
God.
Okay.
On to yours?
1. Yeah, on to mine. Right. Okay. So this is Crunchyroll exclusive genre.
Avoiding getting murdered.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just a genre within Crunchyroll. Children avoiding getting murdered. So, yeah. Number 2. Oh, gosh. I was starting to wish you were my girlfriend. This is where the fun begins.
No. Oh, no.
This is from Shikimori is not just a cutie.
Oh,
so,
dear.
Yeah. Third one. So we've got Yor, who's very excited about a painting of the guillotine. And then you've got Darkness going, could this be one of my people?
I saw another one of these. I don't remember what the character. I don't know who the character was at the end, but it was it was how quickly she wanted to get married.
Oh my god. Okay. Next. Weaves every week. Spy Family. It's just like, when next episode? Yep.
Can confirm.
Number 5. Every weeb's worst nightmare. Police anime control.
Oh no.
You got Gakyoin just screaming.
Oh, what a nightmare.
And then my 6th meme. Just look into the eyes of the people that you love. Do you get this one, Nasuth?
Not entirely, no.
Okay, so there's the latest Thor Love and Thunder trailer that's come out, where Star-Lord is saying, like, just look into the eyes of the people that you love, and he's looking up at the crew of what's it called? Yeah, the Guardians.
Yeah, the rest of the Guardians.
Thor's sort of like trying to get in his eye.
Okay. Yes. Now it's yes.
Not you.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? It's like, oh, nothing. Because just looking at the sea.
Now I understand the funny. Now it makes sense.
Yep. Right. Okay. So that is it for this week's episode. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us, listening, and what have you. We haven't decided what next week's episode is going to be. I do want to do a specific thing when Loz is back. So if
Loz is back.
If you stop cursing Loz, right?
God,
if Loz is back
next week,
whoever does it.
No, not you.
Yes, whoever it is. Stop.
Yeah. Stop cursing Loz. And then we can do that one. Otherwise, I've got some work to do. I got to work out what the thing is. But anyway, so thank you all for watching / listening. And now it's time to bottoms up and Kanpai!